This is why you need to know the name Saro-Wiwa. His story is not just a chapter in Nigeria's history, but a lesson for the world about the cost of speaking truth to power. Saro-Wiwa's life was a testament to the power of one voice and how it can echo across continents and generations. His courage changed a nation's conscience. He inspired thousands to rise up, to demand justice, and to believe that even the most marginalized voices could be heard. In the face of overwhelming odds, he stood tall, refusing to be intimidated by threats or violence. And his story is one history refuses to forget. In 1995, the world watched in disbelief as a peaceful activist was executed by the country he sought to protect. The news sent shockwaves through human rights communities, and the injustice of his death became a rallying cry for activists everywhere. But why did Nigeria silence him? And what truth did his voice threaten to expose? The answer lies in the tangled web of oil, politics, and power that has shaped the Niger Delta for decades. Saro-Wiwa's activism threatened not just the profits of multinational oil companies, but the very foundation of a corrupt system. Saro-Wiwa was more than a writer. He was a defender of the Ogoni people, a community suffering in the shadows of Nigeria's oil wealth. The Ogoni, a small ethnic group in the Niger Delta, had watched their ancestral lands become a battleground for oil extraction, their voices drowned out by the roar of machinery and the indifference of those in power. Oil companies destroyed their land, poisoned their water, and stole their livelihoods. Rivers once teeming with fish became slick with oil, farmlands turned barren, and children grew up surrounded by pollution and poverty. The Ogoni people's cries for help were ignored, their suffering hidden from the world. Saro-Wiwa refused to stay silent. He used his pen, his voice, and his presence to demand justice. He wrote books, gave speeches, and organized protests, shining a light on the environmental devastation and human rights abuses in the Niger Delta. Through Mosop, he spoke boldly against environmental injustice and government corruption. The movement for the survival of the Ogoni people became a beacon of hope, uniting communities and drawing international attention to their plight. Saro-Wiwa's leadership gave the Ogoni people a platform, and his words inspired a generation of activists. As his voice grew louder, so did the danger. The government and oil companies saw him as a threat, and the risks he faced became greater with every speech, every march, every demand for justice. Saro-Wiwa knew the cost, but he pressed on, determined to give his people a future. In 1994, he was arrested and charged with murder, accusations widely seen as false. The charges were a thinly veiled attempt to silence him, to crush the movement he had built. International observers condemned the trial, calling it a travesty of justice. The trial was a sham. The sentence, death. Despite global outrage and appeals for clemency, the government refused to back down. Saro-Wiwa's fate was sealed, not by justice, but by fear and greed. On November 10, 1995, Saro-Wiwa and 8 others were hanged. Their execution was meant to send a message that dissent would not be tolerated, but instead it sparked outrage around the world, and the memory of their sacrifice became a symbol of resistance. But the government didn't realize some voices become even louder in death. Saro-Wiwa's words, his courage, and his vision lived on, inspiring new generations to fight for justice, not just in Nigeria, but everywhere people are oppressed. Today, Saro-Wiwa is a symbol of resistance and hope. His legacy is carried by young activists, by communities demanding clean water and fair treatment, and by anyone who believes that one person can make a difference. His legacy lives on in every fight for justice in the Niger Delta. Each protest, each petition, each act of defiance is a tribute to his memory. The struggle continues, but so does the hope he inspired. They tried to silence one man, but they awakened a movement. The spirit of Saro-Wiwa lives on in every person who stands up for what is right, who refuses to be silenced, and who dreams of a better future for all. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful stories. Let Saro-Wiwa's legacy remind us, one voice can change the world.